we're going to transition now to a short video, a music video, to set the stage for the sermon that Pastor Adonia is going to be giving. So please sit back and enjoy the song.
This is the sound of one voice, one spirit, one voice, the sound of one who makes a choice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of voices too. The sound of me singing with you, helping each other to make it through. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices three, singing together in harmony, surrendering to the mystery. This is the sound of voices three. This is the sound of voices three. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice.
Wasn't that beautiful? I normally pick out a Christian music video or something to use, but actually Linda Howell sent that video to me about a month ago, and I thought, this is just the perfect service to use this for. I kind of feel like that could just be our message and we could all go home now, but but since I'm here, I better say a few things too. It's really wonderful, like always. I always say it's so wonderful. I feel like it's always a blessing to be able to come up here and to see all of your faces. And although each of you don't get a chance to come up here, I hope that you also take an opportunity to just look around and appreciate the wonderful people that we have in our lives and take advantage of our meet and greets every Sunday. It's really hard to believe that 2018 is almost finished, because I feel like we just got here and it should still be 2014, but here it is, it's 2018, and it's almost 2019. But it's such a great opportunity to kind of take a step back and reflect and make new determinations. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, when the new year comes, it's just another day, right? It's another 24 hours. Life continues as it did before, in one sense, but in another sense, every single day is a new opportunity and is God's blessing to us. So I think it's great that we have things like New Year's to acknowledge that new start and God's blessing for us. And when the new year comes, we're often talking about things like having a clean slate, reflecting on the past year, thinking about things that you'd like to see happen in our lives, making determinations, making our New Year's resolutions. And I do encourage you to do that. Like Mike said in our announcements, we'll have an opportunity here at church tomorrow if you'd like, or take the opportunity at home. But today, rather than talking about our own individual goals or resolutions, I'd like to more focus on, like the song said, the all of us, and what the new year can be for all of us. So my topic is starting the new year united. When it comes to the topic of unity, I think for those of us who grew up in this faith, who've heard a lot of Divine Principle or heard Reverend Moon speak a lot, he actually talks about unity a lot as kind of the foundation for everything, right? That even God's own harmony within himself is what allowed the creation to come into being. And that it's our own harmony between husband and wife that allows a beautiful family to come about. And it's a harmony between our communities and our countries that will eventually, hopefully, create an environment for world peace. But I do feel like it's not a topic that we talk about so much anymore. I feel like a lot of our focus has been on things like on our family life, right? Establishing kingdom of heaven right here in our own lives, on tribal messiahship, on witnessing, and kind of like onward and upward kind of topics. But any of that is only successful on the foundation of the basics, right? I feel like that many times we want to do bigger and better things and go onward and upward, but if we don't have a solid foundation to stand on, then it's hard to make real progress. So I kind of want to come back to the basics. If we look actually at the Bible, it's not a new thing. Unity was actually a really big topic at Jesus' time. So I want to share a couple of quotes with you from the Bible. This is from Romans 12, 4 through 5. For just as each of us has one body with many members, and these members do not all have the same function, so in Christ we, though many, we form one body, and each member belongs to all of the others. 1 Corinthians 1:10. I appeal to you, brothers and sisters, in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, that all of you agree with one another in what you say, and that there be no divisions among you, but that you be perfectly united in mind and thought. Actually, I looked online, and there's just dozens of these quotes. I could be here for 20 minutes sharing them all with you. But at this time, at Jesus' time, this was a fairly new or elevated topic to be talking about, because many people were just focused on don't steal, don't kill, don't commit adultery. But this is talking about more subtle interpersonal relationships. But it is really that Jesus' encouragement to his disciples to have this unity that created the foundation for all of Christianity. There could not have been the impact on the world and the expansion that happened without these first people really getting that you and I, although we're in separate bodies, we're not actually that separate from each other after all. We're all one in God, and that when we're united, God works through us. And this is really the foundation on which Christianity and most of modern history is established. But this is also a relevant message for us, not only for the disciples 2,000 years ago. For those of you who had experiences with Reverend Moon, you may have heard him talk about this for hours. And not just that unity is important, but how we create unity. Because it sounds nice, right? Harmony, unity, we're living in peace and happiness and flowers and rainbows, that kind of thing. But as nice as it sounds, unity and creating harmony is not always that easy. It is, in fact, easy to undermine or crack the foundations of unity. It's easy to fall into habits or conversations that can disharmonize. Some of these things could be gossip, it could be judgment, it could be assumptions that we hold towards one another. Here's one Bible verse on this topic. There's also lots of these. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. That's from Ephesians. It's interesting. I'm talking about unity, and this morning I saw so much disunity among my children. It was amazing. I'm lying in bed, and then my kids come in, Nathan and Mia, and then my little daughter, Annalise, and they're role-playing something from Minecraft or something, and Mia is yelling, "No, she's mine! She's my baby!" She's like grabbing Annalise, and then Nathan's like, "No, you're a witch! She's mine!" And she says, "No, you're a monster! She's mine!" So my kids are having a custody battle over my daughter. And but to them, it's like, that's real, and it's serious. And to me, I'm like, come on, guys. But it's very easy from our own perspective to see other people's flaws, to see why other people are wrong, to see the things that should be different about somebody else. Another thing that happened this morning was my daughter Mia wanted to play Pokemon with my boys. She wanted to do a Pokemon battle with her cards. And she came up to me and she was like, "They're not playing with me." And I said, "Well, did you ask nicely?" She's like, "Yes, and they should play with me, and they're not playing with me. And I said, well, you can't force them to play with you, but you could ask them nicely. And then eventually one did, but it was just another example I could see of how we often feel like somebody should be doing something, or they should be thinking a certain way, or why don't they see things the way that I see things? Can't they tell that this is better than reading or whatever? Obviously, Pokemon cards are the best, but as a parent, it's all just kind of ridiculous. But as a child, from your own perspective, it's hard to get past our assumptions, our gossip, or our judgments of others. But I know that for myself as a parent, when I see my kids accusing each other or saying, oh, they should be doing this, well, my thought is, it's okay, you're different. You're special because you're different. He is different, and he's special because he's different. You have different interests, and I'm glad that you have different interests. It makes variety in our family. It's special. I'm glad. Whereas from your, they're not always glad. But my parental perspective is, I'm glad that you're different. And then sometimes they point out things that the other one's doing wrong. He took my thing. She did this. She said that. That wasn't very nice. And also from a parental perspective, I want to say, look, I'll take care of it. I'll work with Nathan and make sure he talks nicely. If he's doing this thing that he shouldn't do, we'll work it out. I'm here. But sometimes just from a sibling point of view, they should be fixed and I can fix them. But sometimes we forget that God is our parent. He's working in other people's lives too. So we don't always have to be the judge or fix other people. But as a parent, I just want my daughter to love her brother, support her brother, and that as he grows and as he changes and as he maybe does improve some things, that they can appreciate each other instead of feeling judged by each other. So I thought that was helpful for me from a parental perspective to see how God often looks at all of us. Maybe some of those things resonate with you too. Okay, so back to the words of Reverend Moon on the topic of unity. I found a couple of very good quotes. The first one I actually remember reading back when I was on my mission program a long time ago. I'm going to share that one with you first. Which comes first, unity or love? You can love yourself when your mind and body are in harmony with each other. If you love yourself when your desire and actions are going different directions, then your love has little meaning. But when your mind and body are united into one, then your love will be eternally protected by God. Unity is the beginning point of love. Since this principle is the core, we in our movement seek unity first, and then we talk about heart and love, feelings. Then only can our ideal be realized. Before that ideal can be realized, there must be unity and then love. Okay, and then I found this other quote. Where does unity materialize? You might think, well, unity will come wherever it may, but that's wrong. What is needed as its foundation before it comes? We must have love connections. Yes, love connections. There will be no unity without love connections. And this is from a section called Love as the Foundation for Unity and Happiness. And I was like, wait a second. The first one says that first is unity and then is love. And then the second one says that there has to be love and then there's unity. So which is it, chicken or the egg? But, and I think if I was just really stuck on like theological doctrine, I would be like, there's something wrong here. But I realized that this is, for one thing, he was probably spoke these in Korean and then it was translated to English, and so there might be some discrepancies there. But also, love can mean so many different things. And what I came to understand, at least from my perspective, is that the intention of love must come first. So there's a difference between like this lovey-dovey feeling that you can have with somebody and the act of loving somebody. You don't have to feel in love with somebody to love them, right? Love is a verb. You've probably heard that before. And there's an intention and an act of loving. I think that's the love that comes first, with the intention to love and create harmony. Then that love can be received, that act of love can be received, and there can be unity. And when that unity comes, then comes the emotional bond of love. The connection that, even if things get difficult sometimes, we can't be torn apart. So, in thinking about the new year, okay, I would actually like to know, has anybody heard this kind of saying that how you start something and how you finish something is the most important? Okay, good, because I looked online, I was looking for a little inspirational meme or something, and I couldn't find that, but I was like, I know I've heard this before. It sticks with me that how you start something and how you finish something is most important. But here we are. We're doing both. We're finishing up 2018, and we're starting 2019. And I think that however you may have felt about your year, or however some things may have gone or not gone, we have an opportunity to finish it strong, and upon that foundation, then to start strong into our new year. We're so excited about this coming year. Mike and I have been talking a lot about what this year has been like and what we're looking forward to. Like you saw in the announcements, we have a lot of new small groups starting, a lot of great ways for people to connect to each other. Something we really realize is that aside from our wonderful coming together, all together at church on Sundays, there really needs to be a connection. And this, first of all, right, the act of loving, the verb of love, and the unity, and then the feeling of love and connection between our members and our families and our brothers and sisters, not only in church, but outside of it. So that's something we're really looking forward to in the new year. This past year, as we reflected on it, has really been a year of, in some ways, restructuring a lot of things. Actually, we've been growing a lot, and we realized we haven't been able, we weren't prepared for all the new babies being born and all the new people coming to our community and all the new guests that we're having. And so this year has been a year of restructuring to be able to welcome our new families, welcome our new babies, welcome our new guests, and create ways for each person to feel like that they are a part of the community, they can contribute to the community, and that this is their home. So we've been restructuring things financially, we've been restructuring things in the council, we've been creating pathways and structures for people to automatically be welcomed in and not have to just rely on a particular person who's good at it, So this year has been a lot of this kind of building, foundation laying. But we really see next year as being a year of growth. And it's already happening, but I feel like now that everything is kind of in place, it's just what happens when you get rid of barriers, right? In Rick Warren's book, he talks a lot about how God is on our side. With a health, if you can get rid of the obstacles, then a healthy organism naturally grows. So that's where I feel like we're going in the coming year. But also, I also know that we are all in different places in our lives. And Some of us might be facing some difficulties. Some of us might be expecting some challenges that we have to deal with in the coming year. Some of us might have some health issues to deal with. Some people may have dealt with somebody passing away in the past year. If you know Virginia Rose, her mother is probably going to be passing away soon, so she went out to go be with her. So as much as many great things are happening, and up here and looking at everybody, I can feel like this is the song of all of us. Yes, we're doing so great. But I know that we all have our own struggles too. And so this is where I ask all of us to kind of be that person for each other and to assume the best of people rather than wrong assumptions. All right, treat people with love and kindness and generosity, maybe looking past the things that we could judge or the things that we could say about somebody. And let's support each other in the coming year. I have a couple more quotes I want to finish off with. This is also from the Bible, from 2 Corinthians. Finally, brothers, rejoice. Aim for restoration. Comfort one another. Agree with one another. Live in peace, and the God of love and peace will be with you. I actually don't see this word in the Bible too often, but it says aim for restoration. And that comes from a Greek word. The original word is in Greek, and the original Greek word means to complete. So if there are things between husbands and wives, or in your families, or between your neighbors here to complete, then let's complete those things. Let's not continue our frustrations. Let's not continue our grudges, right? Let's aim for restoration. Let's comfort each other. And the God of love and peace will be with you. And then last, dear friends, since God so loved us, we also ought to love one another. No one has ever seen God. But if we love one another, God lives in us, and his love is made complete in us. Isn't that a beautiful quote? There's a lot I could say about that, but I'll just let that sit with you. As we reflect on our past year and make our New Year's resolutions, let's also include each other in our lives and in our vision for the future. And please join me in prayer. Most beloved Heavenly Parent, I feel so much gratitude to you for this past year. So many blessings in my own life, but in our community, in our families. Also so many challenges, Heavenly Parent. But I really pray that each one of us can see the challenges that we have faced and that we will face as opportunities to rise above the challenge and to become something even greater than we are, to become somebody who reflects your love in reality. We become the face of you to people who don't know you and don't see you, Heavenly Parent. Please be with all of us as we go through our own individual lives. We are each members, but we are members of one body. And we all have the power to influence and inspire and uplift each other and to create something that's beautiful in your eyes, to create a community and a home where you are eager to come to and to celebrate with us, not only on Sundays, but in every day throughout our lives, Heavenly Parent. We want to offer the year 2018 to you. Please claim our victories, and please accept our apologies and our best efforts in the areas where we didn't do what we had hoped we would do. But we know that you are embracing all of that with love. Thank you so much for your constant and undying and patient love with us as we continue to grow and find our way in this world. And we just want to offer the year to you, offer this day to you, step forward with a fresh heart tomorrow and in the new year. And I pray this in my name, Michael and Adonia Hendrick of a Blessed Central Family. Amen and adieu. Thank you.
Okay, so we're just going to run through some local announcements real quick. It's that time of year, and I am really excited about doing it's not really a service, but it's a kind of a gathering tomorrow night for New Year's Eve. And I just really love the idea of spending New Year's Eve coming together in prayer, in reflection of the new year. To take the opportunity to think about how was 2018, what were the things I loved about it, what were my challenges, what could I do better, building on successes, and just offering that to God. This was my year. This was 2018, and I want 2019 to be like this. This is what I would like to see happen in my life or my family or my job, whatever is important to you. And so this is just an opportunity to come here tomorrow evening at 9, and we're going to spend some time to reflect. We'll have some papers. You can just write down how your year was. Sometimes writing it down is really helpful. And then also spending some time in prayer. We might have some words that we'll be reading. And if you want to stay till midnight, then we'll have some sparkling grape juice or something, and we'll do a toast and we'll celebrate the new year coming in. But you can also leave at any point too. You don't have to stay till midnight. I recognize that tomorrow we're expecting snow, so that may not be realistic for many of you to be able to come for this. So that's totally fine, but I would just encourage you that even if you don't come, it's a really valuable thing, I think, to offer our year up to God and make some kind of determinations or ideas or cast a vision for your life in 2019, whatever it might be. So I encourage you to do it at home, even if you're not able to come tomorrow. This Friday, our movie is Stand and Deliver. This is a really great movie about a teacher who's teaching at a kind of a low-income school, and his students are in calculus class, but no one really expects them to pass the class. And they're all kind of from poor families. Some of them are in gangs, and the whole movie is about this teacher who just decides, I'm going to get these kids past this class. They're gonna pass this class, this calculus class, and they're gonna defy everybody's expectation. And he commits to that, and he just finds a way to teach them, even though no one really expects that he can do it. And it's a really beautiful movie. And so I would invite you to come at 7 p.m. for popcorn and to be able to enjoy the movie this Friday here in the chapel. This Wednesday, Bible study by Dr. Hendrick will be on Angels in the Bible. That'll be at 7 p.m. in the cafe next door. And we're also the Steins are starting a parenting small group starting January 27th. And I'm really excited about this because obviously this is a really important subject. Parenting, how do we be good parents? It's not an easy thing to do. It's very difficult and challenging at many times. But I'm really happy that they are taking the initiative to create something that'll be here on Sundays before service. And they're working together to create some kind of a really high quality childcare so that parents can come and attend the small group and know that their kids are being well taken care of. I was talking with David, and he was sharing some of the topics that they want to talk about, including, dealing with teenagers and picky eaters and just all these really practical topics. And I think that I'm really excited about it, and I hope that as many people as possible can attend. Another small group or ministry that's starting in January is Dollars and Cents. This ministry is all around finances. So if you have questions about insurance or Medicare or retirement or what's some other things, taxes, investments, this is for you. Getting out of debt. This can be a great way to be with some experts in this field, and they're just wanting to be able to share their experience and their advice and provide an opportunity for people to talk about what are the things that are going on in their life in regard to finances that we could all work on. We all kind of need help in this area, right? And that'll be on Sundays starting January 6th here at 7 p.m. And then my dad is going to be giving a series called Becoming the Heart of the Principal, starting January 5th on Saturdays from 9 to noon. And this is really something for people who have already heard the basics of the principle, but really want to experience maybe on a more deeper level how it applies to my life, what it does it mean to me, what is the heart of it, not just maybe a theological understanding, but what does it mean for my life. So if you'd like to come, you can talk to him. He's not here today. He's actually teaching a workshop in Oregon, but he'll be back, and you can reach out to him or just show up. Just show up on from 9 to noon. And then I will be giving presentation this Sunday. If you're new here, you may recognize that we have some unusual traditions. Maybe you haven't seen at other churches, the way that we pray, some of the songs we sing, different things like that. So we'd love to have an opportunity to be able to share with you about where, who we are and why we do some of these traditions and what our vision is for the future of this community, what it means to be a part of the community. So if you'd like to come, grab your lunch, and you can join us during lunch in the French ministry room, which is right next to the cafe over there. And it takes about 20, 30 minutes. It's really not a long presentation. And then, first time ever for us, we'll be doing a membership class. And this is for people who have already taken the step to come to the Who Are We presentation. They've already taken the step to study the basics of the principle, and they'd like to know more. You'd like to know more. You'd like to see, what does it really mean to be a member of this church? What does it really mean to be in this community? What does it mean to make a commitment, not just to the church, but for my own spiritual life and for my own spiritual growth. So we're really excited. I'm really excited about this class, first ever. And if you would like to come, even if you've been a long-time member of this church and just to check it out, you're totally welcome to do that. And that'll be next Sunday, January 6th at lunchtime. So that's all our announcements for today.